Well, Mark, that brings us into our next kind of part B to this Jimmy Garoppolo trade. And we are actually, this is a reactionary topic to the trade, is there's someone who's not even involved in this trade that has affected to me greatly. And that is we haven't talked about him in a while, the corn-fed All-American right here from Illinois.
That's right.
Kirk Cousins. And the reason why we're talking about him is, what does this mean for...
It's been an Illinois quarterback day.
It has been. It had the first two. We're talking Illinois quarterbacks.
If only Deshaun Watson was from Illinois, too.
I know, right? If only we would be 1, 2, 3 on the trifecta. But this, to me, affects Cousins greatly because it was pretty much, in my mind,
It was pretty unanimous of where he was going to go.
In my mind, I was like, oh, he's going to go and play for Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan will bring him back, and those two can meld together in San Francisco. Well, now that they've got Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm going to ask you, where does Kirk Cousins go this offseason?
Yeah, this is a tough one because, like, you think of the options that he would have gone. And really, San Francisco was the big one. You know, some people want to believe in the Jets because their quarterback situation's a little messy. Other people want to throw out something a little bold, like the Miami Dolphins. You know,
okay,
obviously Tannehill is there.
No, I think that's Mark Weber.
I'm not the only person that has said it.
Not the only person, but you're one of them.
There's a few of them. There's a few of us out there.
Put your name on it, Mark. Put your name on it.
Some people would even be bold enough to say that, well, Carson Palmer's going to be gone, so shift him right over to Arizona. It's just interesting to me that Kirk Cousins' number one destination, unanimously decided by pretty much everybody.
49ers.
And 49ers are like, yeah, no, we're good. We want Jimmy Garoppolo.
We want that Garoppolo kid.
And, I don't necessarily disagree with it. I mean, you have the kind of recent proven quarterback compared to the guy who just has a ton of upside. So I don't really disagree with saying we'll take the younger guy with upside because with Kirk Cousins, you're looking at, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. That's about it. Jimmy, you're going to probably get 8, 9, maybe 10. You know, he's 25 where Kirk is 29. So I don't know. But to me, he's definitely affected by this, but I still think he's getting paid. He is going to get the big bucks.
Who's going to pay him? Who's the number one team you have on your list now for the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes?
So there's one little thing that I will get to later of where I think there is currently a very strong chance that he ends up. But I definitely think that I have to put my money on the Arizona Cardinals.
Really?
I have to because Carson Palmer has not done what he's been there to do. He gets hurt. You know, the team's not working out. They're the team that makes the most sense to me. They've got enough pieces in place to where a guy like Cousins can go in there and be successful right off the bat. And he's got, some tough teams to compete with out there. He definitely has to go out there. Plus, there's the extra little motivation of, you know what? Fuck you, San Francisco. You didn't want me? I'm going to beat you twice a year. I think that's motivation. I don't think that the Browns are even going to entertain the idea because I think that the Cleveland Browns will go and draft their quarterback. I definitely think that New York will make a strong push as well.
Which New York?
The Jets. I'm sorry, the Jets. I think the Giants are drafting a quarterback this year. Probably like number 2 overall. Will be drafting a quarterback. Now, the strong thing that has come back to me, I was before saying, no way in hell. I've been hearing that the communication is bad, that things are falling apart. He doesn't want to be in Washington anymore. But I think this trade might kind of be a little bit of a sign from the heavens or whatever Kirk Cousins believes in to say, maybe I'll stay in Washington. The number one place that I was supposed to go to suddenly is not an option. Maybe I'll just stay here.
I've got 3 teams. 2 teams that I think for sure. Well, here. One team I think for sure day one fit makes them a better team, makes him a better player. The second one all depends on, there are some people that believe in this quarterback. I do not. And then the third one is I think they'll draft a quarterback, but if they decide to move on from theirs, they could take Kirk Cousins. They'll start from the bottom. That last team, the New York Giants. And the reason why Eli hasn't been the same, I think that would be perfect situation. Well, one of the perfect situations for Cousins. you get a defense, you get an offense with wide receiver weapons to throw to after
if they come back.
Well, after both of yours left, I mean, you're still going to have Odell. You'll still have Shepard out there. Brandon Marshall might be the one that leaves. However, that might be a good thing for the Giants because he doesn't go to the Super Bowl anyways.
Or the playoffs.
Or the playoffs. That's one.
And I think that Cousins and McAdoo is a good combo.
Well, and the only thing that scares me there is the Giants need a run game. They need a consistent run game, and that's the only thing that scares me. But I agree with you. I think they draft a quarterback to eventually take
Cousins
over.
loves a nice tight end.
Yes.
So he's got a good a good couple.
Which he has is they just drafted Ingram over there to be their tight end. The second one, Jacksonville. If they prove to move on, and I'll be honest, if Coughlin came out today and said Blake Bortles will no longer be our quarterback after this year, this becomes the number one spot. You get a run game, you get a phenomenal defense, or a young defense that could work their way up to becoming phenomenal. They have been great this year, could be phenomenal with age. So they could be getting even better. Plus, they made a trade with the Bills recently that just makes them an even better unit. You have Leonard Fournette, who is tied for the league in lead of rushing touchdowns this year. You have weapons on the offensive side. They would be my number one if Blake Bortles was out of the picture. The whole thing is Jacksonville ever going to move on from Blake Bortles, and could Kirk take that job? The number one, and the one thing you'll notice with all three of these teams, good defenses. The Denver Broncos. I love Brock the Cock-a-doodle-doo just like you do, but I don't think Trevor Simeon's the answer. I don't think Paxton Lynch is the answer. John Elway before has brought in a veteran to try to win a Super Bowl. It worked with Peyton Manning. We'll see if it works with Kirk Cousins. You give Kirk a defense, give him some weapons like Thomas and Sanders. They have a run game in C.J. Anderson. That could be a perfect situation for Cousins as well.
Yeah, I think it's possible for sure. And I think that it's a good one because right now we also recently had coming out of the Denver Broncos that, they're a little frustrated with the quarterback situation. They thought they had it figured out with Paxton Lynch. He has never made any progress. If anything, he's regressed. Simeon came in, did well, but he's a little inconsistent, and you're not happy with it. But yeah, it's definitely a team that can be very successful, and a team that likes to run the ball, which is very useful too.
But Denver fans will still tell me that he's the answer and that they're happy with him at quarterback. It confuses me.
I think you should be happy with him at quarterback. You should be happy with him. He was a 7th round pick from Northwestern.
Losing 17-3 currently as
the only Northwestern quarterback to start their rookie year or not rookie year
or their first year
I don't even know. There was some stat about him being like the first one to start and whatever.
As of recording this, a minute 56 to go in the first half, he's 4 of 12 for 48 yards and 2 picks.
Nice.
I get it's KC, but that doesn't scream confidence to me.
But how's my man Kareem Hunt doing? Is he doing well? Because I need him to do very well today for fantasy reasons.
Kareem Hunt only has 38 yards for you.
Well, that's not helping me out, Kareem. I don't care how many yards you get. Just give me some tutties. Anyways, I think it's going to be interesting. But I do think that, San Francisco, which was a desirable option. I think that Arizona, I think that Denver are good options for him.
And the thing with Arizona that you bring up is, so in the LA game 2 weeks ago, Carson Palmer breaks his arm.
Yeah.
He's out 8 weeks. That means maybe he's coming back week 16 against the Giants. That's a huge gap off. Plus, with how many years the Cardinals have had him, are they going to decide?
I'm going to shut him down.
Are they going to decide that, you know what, enough is enough? We're moving on from you. Kind of be like, hey, buddy, I think it's time to retire. Wink, wink.
And
nudge,
speaking of retirement, let's not forget that there are the rumors swirling about that Bruce Arians is going to retire after this year. So I think that there's something of value there to say new coach, new quarterback. It could be something. But I do wonder when we're talking about this, because I want to force this to happen.
Are you
the Miami Dolphins?
Okay. There's one thing I want to mention before you bring up Miami that is a tail on to the Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Don't know how long he's going to be there as well, because he's made the joke of, well, I got X amount of yards to catch Jerry Rice, so that's how long I'll be here. However, he's getting closer to the end than the beginning. Okay, Dolphins, go.
I just want to think of so Ryan Tannehill last season missed out at the end because of an injury.
This year he missed the whole year.
Misses everything because of an injury. They went and they got Jay Cutler. The experiment hasn't worked. Jay Cutler's hurt now. I mean, spoiler alert, we knew that was going to happen.
Back to Matt Moore, that didn't work as well.
Matt Moore, who the only reason why Ryan Tannehill ever got to start in the first place was because Matt Moore originally got hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of injury issues. You know who doesn't have any injury issues?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. No, I just wonder is there a potential, and I know they gave him a good contract and stuff, and they seem to believe in Ryan Tannehill as they should, but with injury issues and he's been good, but he hasn't been as good as they would hope. I just wonder if there's a potential for them to try and trade away Ryan Tannehill. I think that there would be teams that would be willing to take him. If they're not going to be willing to, make a huge splash for Kirk Cousins, who I assume is going to get paid more than Tannehill, might there be a team that's willing to take Ryan Tannehill on?
And I mean, I don't know the exact ramifications of this. Someone who knows Miami might be able to help. However, looking at Spot Rack, they even put in there that in Tannehill's contract, there is a potential out right before 2018. So after this year, it does say potential out. So I mean,
team out or his out? Does it say?
It just says potential out. It says 3 years, $39.5 million, 4.6 dead cap. So, I mean, all it says is personal out. Other than that, he's locked up till 2021. I don't see them getting rid of Ryan Tannehill. That's the thing. That's the only thing with Miami that I feel like long shot there.
I just feel like my thing is more of, I think, just a Miami issue in general. That I just kind of feel like, and if you've been listening to the Onside Kick, I'm a Ryan Tannehill believer. But I think that is kind of done. I feel like Ryan Tannehill is not going to necessarily happen in Miami. So I just kind of feel like maybe they need a fresh face. I mean, Adam Gase doesn't have any real connection to him.
I wouldn't be against it because I would be intrigued for the Gase-Cousins connection because we saw Gase when he had a healthy Jay Cutler and a Jay Cutler that wasn't retired for X amount of months before coming to him, how he was able to do. The only thing that I think of is, are you going to get rid of Ryan Tannehill? And I just don't see
if
that
you can
happening.
trade him. I mean, if you can get a partner that wants him, I think it might be worth it.
Do you
because
think
Ryan Tannehill still has good upside.
Do you think you can find someone that'll want him though?
Yeah, if someone's going to not be able to get Kirk Cousins, I think, and they're not like the Cleveland Browns who are picking number 1 overall. I think that there'll be teams like the New York Jets who have been winning too many games. I don't necessarily want to put the Jaguars in this because I don't necessarily know how big of an upgrade Ryan Tannehill is to Blake Bortles. He's an upgrade, but not that big of one. So there's definitely going to be some options for those teams that are a little bit too good.
You don't think Kirk Cousins is a... Oh, you're saying Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill is an upgrade, just not a huge upgrade.
I was ready to jump you when I didn't have to. For a second, I was like, wait a second. Do you just say that Kirk Cousins is not a bigger upgrade than Blake Bortles?
No, Kirk Cousins is an upgrade.
I was confused.
So is Ryan Tannehill.
Here's an interesting situation that could play out. We've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't remember exactly if this was one where it was me and you or me and Brandon, but an interesting situation that could play out this offseason. Let's say Big Ben retires. Steelers would be looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Bingo, bango. Could Kirk Cousins fit in there if Big Ben retires?
I think he could. And I think it's a great situation to walk into and say, let's win a Super Bowl.
It would feel weird to see him in the black and yellow.
I don't think it'd feel that weird. I can see
I'd get used to it, but that would be...
I can picture it perfectly in my head right now.
Another perfect situation. Has the weapons, has a running back, has a defense. Like you said, walks in, hey, let's win a Super Bowl. I want to throw one out to you. Let's say Teddy Bridgewater doesn't play well when he comes back. Is there a potential that the Vikings go, well, Sam Bradford left, Teddy isn't what he used to be. Do we keep Case Keenum and just kind of see what this experiment's going to go with? Because right now, Case Keenum's just winning games. That's all you ask. But in the offseason, and this really is another one that depends on how Teddy comes back. This is if Teddy is not going to come back well and they're looking to move on.
For sure.
Could you see the Vikings maybe getting in on that if they need a quarterback, if it's Case Keenum or Kirk Cousins?
Well, I mean, if you got the choice between the two, you're going to take Kirk Cousins. But
Yeah,
I do
would
think
too.
that this year, Case Keenum hasn't done anything to necessarily lose the job.
No.
And I think that kind of works well for them because they can let Teddy Bridgewater just sit.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually going to be the most likely thing to happen here is that Case Keenum plays out the rest of the season. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't do anything until next year, and they don't even have the chance to even think about it.
So you don't think Teddy's going to come back this year at all?
I don't, because Case Keenum's not doing anything to lose.
And I don't know if this is a changing of opinion because we did talk about this a few weeks ago with Teddy Bridgewater.
In a slightly different way, but we did. I don't think that... I mean, Case Keenum's been looking good. Not amazing, but he's been looking good enough. And really, the big thing is that the run game turned and actually got better after Dalvin Cook got hurt, which is amazing that it could possibly get better than where it was. So I definitely think that Case Keenum will be there. And I think that he's going to be around and kind of hold the spot for Teddy for when he comes back next year.
See, I mean, I just look around. There are too many teams that have a guy like Dak with the Cowboys, Wentz with the Eagles. I don't think Kirk Cousins returns to the Redskins. That's why I didn't even bring them up. Bears have their guys. Lions have their guy. Packers have their guy. In the South, everyone has a quarterback that they want. In the West, it's pretty much like you said, the Cardinals, and then everyone else has a quarterback. AFC West, besides the Broncos, everyone has a quarterback. AFC South, Watson. The Colts could be interesting, but they've got Jacoby Brissett now. So, I mean, if luck doesn't work out, it's Jacoby's
Luck
job.
will be back.
Then you have Bortles and Mariota. The only other teams I can look at is the Ravens. Do you think Joe Flacco has any more to be a future Super Bowl winner again for you guys? And then Cleveland. But right now, Cleveland's riding the whole Deshaun Kaiser thing. However, the thing that I look at is if you're going to go with this Moneyball thing and trade for picks and not take that first-round quarterback, wouldn't Kirk Cousins be a guy you want to go for? Because then you wouldn't have to worry about drafting that first-rounder.
I think the thing with the whole Moneyball thing that people get a little too high on
is saying I'm getting a little bit too high
you
on?
need to calm the fuck down.
Okay.
No, it's just that I think that people are
passive aggressiveness over there, Mark.
Calm your shit. I think that people are just. I don't think there's anything passive about this right now.
It's just straight on aggressive.
People are just so into the you got to trade back, you got to trade out, and you can use a first-round pick.
Which I am all for, using a first-round pick.
You can use it. The whole thing with the Moneyball is use it when it's smart and then BPA. If the best player available is the quarterback that's sitting there and you need him, you draft him.
Bill Belichick has to be sitting like, oh, Moneyball, that's cute. I've been doing this for years. Making my first-round picks and trading back all the rest.
Yeah, I just think that it's the kind of thing for Cleveland. And we'll get to. I know we're going to talk about it when they have the first overall pick. That are they going to trade back? This year, I don't think they can.
do, because now Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win the Niners some games. That's what you're saying.
Well, I said that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win them at least 3. He's going to win them at least 3 this year.
At least the 49ers can go, oh, we're not going to go 0-16.
Somebody's got to not go 0-16. Now watch. Jimmy goes out there and breaks his ankle. First play. Shit, we got rid of a second, and now look at this. Man, that would be the worst, because then what are you going to do? You're not going to pay him.
Any final teams you think could be a fit for Kirk Cousins?
No, I think that I'm revitalized in thinking that maybe the Redskins will make it happen.
I don't think so. I'm not buying it.
Only because I think it's, the number one destination is gone now. But I do think I would love to see, even though I said that there's not going to happen because they're drafting a quarterback, I would love to see him go to the New York Giants so that way he can play the Redskins twice a year.
Well, and this is where I'm going to turn it on to you guys. Let us know. Give me your top 3. Where are the top 3 landing spots for Kirk Cousins now that Jimmy Garoppolo has been traded to the 49ers? Also, let us know a little bit about each one. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.